offering up their vocals for a special Mother's Day concert.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The Free National Movement celebrating 1 year as the government of the Bahamas. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. 1 year ago, the then opposition Free National Movement won the 2017 general election with a landslide victory, securing 35 of the 39 parliamentary seats to become the government of the Bahamas. Party officials led by leader Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis commemorating the 1 year anniversary tonight with a rally at the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters. Our Altaviz Munnings joins us live with a preview. Altaviz?
Good evening, LaDawn, and good evening, Bahamas. Free National Movement members and supporters have assembled here at the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters since 3 o'clock this afternoon for an open house to commemorate the 1 year anniversary of the Free National Movement's 2017 general election victory. After the open house, which will end at 7 o'clock, there will be a mini rally here at the Free National Movement's headquarters that will feature members of Parliament as well as party leader, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis. Joining me now is Free National Movement's National Chairman, Carl Comer. Mr. Comer, tell us first of all about the open house, who was invited, and what's been going on here today.
Today from 3 o'clock, we invited all of our supporters and persons alike to come out and celebrate with us our first anniversary. And it's the idea is to bring down people together just to enjoy each other's company and to ensure that they understand what transpired from last year to this year.
As chairman, tell us how the 1 year has been celebrated by the Free National Movement. What accomplishments have been made?
As you know, as you're aware, there's a number of projects that the Free National Movement have accomplished thus far. As you know, for the first project was and challenge was to try and look at the crime issue. As you can see, the crime now is being tackled. We are reducing the crime numbers, especially murder, and now we're trying to get at the economics. And that was a twofold thing. The economics, as you realize, the Bahamas was heading in the wrong directions with a number of downgrades, and right now that has been taken care of, and we are now working to get the Bahamas back on a steady foot. And we will also be looking at how we could create opportunities for Bahamians. So going forward now, we have the crime, we're looking at opportunities, and so we'll be looking at improving the life of the Bahamian.
As the national chairman, sir, how is the Free National Movement keeping its feet on the ground to ensure another election victory come 2022?
Well, as you know, we made a number of commitments to the Bahamian people. We had a manifesto that we gave out there, and we will be using our manifesto as a guide. We have a 5-year contract with the Bahamian people, and we will be living up to that contract that we have with our manifesto. And we'll be looking at additional things to do to make sure, to adjust, to make sure at the end of the day, the Bahamian people are aware that this is the government that they can trust, and this is the government that they can support for another 5 years. The worst day in F&M is better than the best day in the PLP.
Thank you, sir. That was Free National Movement National Chairman Carl Comer. As I stated earlier, the Free National Movement is having an open house here at its Mackey Street headquarters. It ends at 7 o'clock. We want you to join us again at 7 o'clock at the top of the National Report, where we will be speaking with the Honorable Darren Henfield. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He will be giving us a recap of his how his first year has been, and as a Member of Parliament as well as a Cabinet Minister. We hope you tune in then. Reporting live from the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News. Back to you, LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Altaviz. The nation's chief, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, also reflecting on his government's 1 year anniversary in office. He says while much has been done to reduce crime, he's also pleased with another step taken by government this week.
I'm especially elated to establish the delivery unit where we can actually trace and keep an eye on everything that we promised to ensure that they're delivered. And in real time, the press can visit the delivery unit, look on the various different monitors and see exactly where we are. And we will have the necessary website so that you can see where we are, our progression, etc.
The Free Free National Movement opened its Mackey Street headquarters today to host members and supporters in its one-year anniversary celebrations. Chairman Carl Culmer told ZNS News that it was an opportunity for members and supporters to talk to the party's members of parliament as well as its executive team to get a better understanding of all that transpired over the past year. The FNM chairman also noted that as the Free National Movement Party is an open organization for the people, it was only fitting to host their supporters in this way. Tonight we also hear from the Free National Movement's frontliners on the party's one-year anniversary. This evening we hear from Immigration Minister the Honorable Brent Simonet.
I think if we're honest and looking ourselves in the mirror as a government, yes, we could have done better. What the government has done is decided to take the politician out of the citizenship. So we've established a commission that meets every 2 weeks. I think we're up to now probably about 150 applications that have been dealt with. And what they do is they look at the persons who are born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamian parents, lived here all their lives, and applied for citizenship between the ages of 18 and 19. Now that's a constitutional, to put it simple, that's one of the areas that's in the Constitution. And that's all they look at. So that means, so before now, if Brent Simonet as the minister didn't want that to go to cabinet, your file either sat on my desk or in a box somewhere and your file never got there. So the idea is now is the persons working at immigration will prepare the agenda and there should be no political intervention.
And to hear more on the government's work over the past year, you can tune in on Sunday at 8 p.m. to the program Free National Movement A Year Beyond the Polls with host Shanique Miller. Well, the defeated Progressive Liberal Party was, not applauding the government on its first year in office. At a meeting last night, the party pointed to concerns over unemployment, the Over-the-Hill initiative, the revised breadbasket list, and other issues were evaluated. PLP leader Philip Davis said the government's performances is unsatisfactory and gave the FNM a U for its first year in office. The fallen four and other crew members of the HMBS Flamingo remembered today during a memorial service at the Defense Force Base. Jiminita Swain was there.
A memorial service held Thursday morning at the Coral Harbor Base to mark the 38th anniversary of what many would see as an attack on Bahamian territory by a foreign entity. Cuban MiG jets shot upon and sank the HMBS Flamingo 1 mile from Cape Santo Domingo. The surviving crew and 8 Cuban passengers went to Ragged Island to alert officials and flee attackers. 4 men, Able Seaman Fenric Stirrup, Marine Seaman Austin Smith, Marine Seaman David Tucker, and Marine Seaman Edward Williams, were lost at sea. The memorial service included the Governor General, the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, other cabinet ministers, members of the armed forces, as well as survivors and family members. The Governor General, in her capacity as head of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, said news of the tragedy would be delivered on Mother's Day, 40 days after an act of Parliament created the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
The realization of the awesome responsibilities of self-governance, self-reliance, and of course self-defense became ever so clearer to all Bahamians. Commodore Bethel, senior officers and Marines, in retrospect, I am very proud to observe that the dedicated service and selfless sacrifice of the men and women of the Defense Force continue to stir up a deep sense of national pride and respect for all that it means to be a citizen of a sovereign nation.
We'll have more on that service coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
The body of Clara Rose Hall King is lying in repose in the foyer of the Senate building. King was appointed a senator by former Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Penling. Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Penling led officials who viewed the body today, followed by the Prime Minister and other government and opposition dignitaries. King was the mother of 8, including her eldest child, Sir Burton Hall, the former Chief Justice. She died last week after a brief illness. A state-recognized funeral is set for Friday at 11 a.m. at St. Agnes Anglican Church. And the road to the Miss Bahamas World Crown continues. Tonight we hear from more beauty contestants. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine Big Box. Fully loaded and made fresh for only you. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Several new and exciting initiatives are in the pipeline for the Green Giants of St. John's College for the academic year 2018-2019. Principal Dr. Neveline Evans told ZNS News during an interview recently that the new initiatives will be crucial to the academic and social development of students.
We are in the process of finding funds to develop our new sporting complex. It's going to be the state of the art. And then, as far as the curriculum is concerned, we are planning to take a group of 6 students to Australia to compete in the World Scholars Global Tournament. And in the year 2019, once again, our solar car will go to Australia to participate in the road race there. We're also building an agricultural station where we will be featuring aquaponics and hydroponics. And of course, it'll all be student-centered and student-led.
As the road to the crown continues for the Miss Bahamas World Pageant contestants, we are learning more about the pageant's Beauty with a Purpose project. During a courtesy call on the Governor General yesterday, we talked to the pageant's Vice President of Corporate Sponsorship, Jerome Sawyer.
My Beauty with a Purpose project is called In the Green. It's basically educating the Bahamian people and bringing more awareness to the environment and everything green and in the water and in the sky. Protecting this country and making sure it's the way God made it.
The name of my platform is BU, TIFO, Beyond Measures. And the reason why I chose that is to encourage the youth that you are beautiful no matter what others may have to say about you, as well as be you. Everyone is unique, everyone is different. So I'm just wanting to encourage the youth that it's okay to be different because being different basically rules. So it's okay to be different, it's okay to be unique, and to always remember that you're beautiful.
Island Angel Cartwright told a story about why she chose to partner with the REACH organization for children living with autism.
There was a story a parent told me that, she was in the grocery store and her child was having an anxiety attack, and someone came up to her and, they were like, why would you bring your rude child? Why don't you spank them? Why would you allow your child to act like this publicly? And she was completely embarrassed because her child was autistic and he wasn't being rude. He was having an anxiety attack. So the simple things in life that you and I would take for granted, for instance, an autistic parent goes through so much, and if you don't ever want to take your child to the grocery store, would you want to take them, to dinner?
Sunday is Mother's Day, and the Ramming Brothers are ready for their annual Mother's Day concert. This year, the Ramming Brothers will honor 30 outstanding Bahamian mothers. DeAndre Williamson caught up with them during a rehearsal and gives us a taste of what we can expect on Sunday.
Mother, go back to the Lord.
Singing a cappella at its best, the Ramming Brothers are tuning up for their 8th annual Mother's Day Gospel Concert.
You really don't want to miss this one, because we try to step it up. No matter how good it is, we try to make it better than the last one.
Every year the concert is held in memory of a very special person, Rosalie Ramming.
Missing you on this day. And so really this concert this year is dedicated to the memory of our mother.
Like previous concerts, faithful and dedicated mothers will be recognized. On Sunday, 30 mothers will be honored because the Ramming Brothers believe a mother's heart is next to the heart of God.
I am very grateful to the Almighty and to the Ramming Brothers for having me as one of their honorees out of 30 mothers.
We work so hard as mothers, and we feel as though it just goes unnoticed. It is not appreciated, but I am elated. I am truly elated. This honor is very special to me, and I'm excited and I'm proud to be honored for the first time.
While the Ramming Brothers will be the main group performing, other gospel artists and groups such as Shabak, DJ Godson, and the Stubbs Brothers will serenade the crowd too. The Ramming Brothers will feature gospel favorites from their new CD, I Want to Be Ready.
By and by, and we have old camp meeting days. It tells about the time when people used to get together way back then.
If you want to hear more songs like this,
so lovely ladies, we honor you tonight.
The Ramming Brothers Mother's Day concert will be held here at Evangelistic Temple on Sunday at 7 p.m. The first 100 mothers will receive a rose, and there will be lots of gifts and surprises. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Thanks, DeAndre. Stay close. Sports is up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Yeah, child. I can ride this right on this rim. Y'all guess what? What? I ain't got no spare. Let me just get a jump from the hacker. Nah, this flat. Guess what? If you back around the corner of Wolf Road, there's a tire too. I go in there right now. No one looking nosy, Shirley. You know, shut up in my head in the back there. Stop making nerds. Hey, sweet boy. Give me one of them tires. And while you at it, check this back.
Epic Wolf Road now has tires too. Why not replace your tires on the weekend? Wolf Road is open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit us today.
Hey, what you saying, baby? Mother's Day coming, what you gonna buy the wifey? Why, I can't even sleep. The wife keep complaining that she tying up these cabinet doors because they keep dropping off. Boy, you better go down by Corner Bahamas on Queens Highway, and they have a location in Nassau. They're having a 35% store-wide sale until May 18th, and you can lay away until October 31st. My Lord, you ain't serious? Yes, boy. And they just carry all Maplewood cabinets, flooring, tiles, windows, and some pretty color granite. Django, I got that star in the corner, Bahamas.
Cellular and Electronics is your one-stop shop for all your electronic needs. From the latest in cell phones and accessories like the iPhone 6s Plus to the Samsung S6 Edge, the latest in game consoles, games, and accessories. We also carry the best hoverboards, stereo sound systems, and much more. We also have certified technicians to fix all your electronic needs. Located in the Coconut Grove Plaza and the Mall at Marathon. What are you waiting for? Come on down to CTI Cellular and Electronics today.
Rugs, carpet tiles, ceramic tiles, floor mats, even vinyl flooring. Find them all at Wright's Carpet Masters located on Bernard Road. Let them cater to your home or your office needs, and you can choose from a variety of carpets, floor mats, cashmere, oriental rugs, and area rugs. And if you can't come to us, we will bring the business to you, offering free estimates and deliveries to the Family Islands. Wright's Carpet Masters will get it right for you. Located on Bernard Road, telephone number 364-1260.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening and welcome to your First Look at Sports. I'm Charles Fisher. Many are still wondering, when will construction resume on the National Baseball Stadium at the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center? Well, we had a chance to put that question to the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard.
The government approved additional funding for the baseball stadium since we've been in office in order to clear up a number of back bills that had hindered the project from moving forward. I've asked the Prime Minister, despite the approval to complete the baseball stadium in the present location, to give me an opportunity to put together a business plan and a strategic plan for the development of the baseball stadium. That includes entertaining the idea that we might have to reduce the size of the baseball stadium and construct another stadium in the original location that we had identified.
University of the Bahamas decathlete Kevin Mullings is having a great year so far. Just recently won the event at the Penn Relays.
It was a good experience for me. I felt like I worked hard all year to accomplish the achievements I did all year. And the competition was good, so I felt good to win.
Bahamas Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation Nationals and Novice Championships on for this Saturday at the Malaya Resort. President Big Joel Stubbs.
I'm happy to also have the Ministry of Sports to be on board with this event. Of course, we've been reaching out to many various corporate offices, businesses to try help us to, come on board and just be a part of this, lend us some financial support as we're trying our best to venture out into the communities and also to let patients know that we're more than just bodybuilding and fitness. We have quite a bit of athletes here that are trained, that are capable and certified to host seminars to your different businesses, to speak on health and nutrition to its fullest extent, and just lend you folks the information and knowledge need to help bring about or create a healthier Bahamas.
And the Bahamas Football Association getting set to send an under-15 girls team to the Caribbean Football Union qualifiers in August. Kevin Davies has been taking the girls through their workouts.
The team has been together for a couple of months now, been going once a week. And actually, as of this week, we're now going to start ramping it up to three days a week. But the girls have really improved over the past couple of months working with them. This has been probably one of the most talented under 15 girls teams that I've had. There are quite a number of players that can potentially make this team, and I think the selection process will be very difficult.
And that's all my time for First Look at Sports. We'll have much more coming up at 7.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the shared joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Pageant, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn the television to ZNS.
Quick, I on television. I don't have a TV in here. We have Wi-Fi though. We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on. Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
News this evening. Following a year of record-breaking growth, Barbados anticipates an even larger influx of U.S. visitors with the latest uptick in flight services to the country. In 2017, Barbados welcomed 188,970 U.S. visitors, a 30-year high, and is showing no signs of slowing down. This month, American Airlines, the largest air carrier in the United States, unveiled its newest routes, which included a third daily flight from Miami International Airport. St. Kitts and Nevis is preparing to host its inaugural Diaspora Conference, spearheaded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with representatives from key stakeholder agencies, including the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Ministry of Tourism, the Nevis Tourism Authority, the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency, and the Citizenship by Investment Unit. The June 26th through 28th conference will be held under the theme Building Partnerships Towards Sustainable Development. The on-again, off-again redevelopment of Juananora International Airport in Fort St. Lucia is once again consuming the time and attention of policymakers, the business community, and the people of St. Lucia. There is much justified discussion and speculation given that this is the largest infrastructure project to be undertaken in St. Lucia.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, satellite pictures showing that one stationary trough across the central Bahamas beginning to back up now over the northwest Bahamas, and that means an increase in shower activity over the next day and a half. Outside of our studios, we have mostly cloudy skies, temperature at 79 degrees, relative humidity 69%. The winds are out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars. That is 30.04 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil, and that's a look at news here in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't go anywhere. News from the Northern Bahamas is up next.
state giving a report on the government's performance to date. The Minister of Labor touring one of the industrial areas on the island. And a Bimini group to perform on Grand Bahama this weekend.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Today marks the one-year anniversary of the Free National Movement's returning to office as the government of the Bahamas. The FNM won the 2017 general election by a landslide on May 10th, capturing 35 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly. On this first anniversary, officials of the government are highlighting the government's achievements over the past year. Local members of Parliament and senators held a press briefing at the office of the Prime Minister here in Grand Bahama this morning. Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, noting that the FNM government has only just begun.
We have made significant progress. However, there is a lot more work to be done.
This is how Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, describes the Free National Movement's first year in office. The government has received much criticism for the state of the hotel and casino on the Lokaya Strip that remain closed. But Thompson contends that negotiations are ongoing, and while they had hoped that it would have been opened by now, he says the aim is to create a unique destination for this island.
We need to ensure that we have a destination and one that is unique from the rest of the Bahamas. And that is what we've been focused on. We've also been, there are a number of issues that need to be, and that in the process were being resolved, which is the issue of employment and how many employees are going to be there, how many Bahamian employees are going to be there. What about the entertainment? What about the concessions that might be granted? What about the subsidies that might be granted?
But he says they are also having much success with other tourism-related initiatives.
We were very pleased that we were able to negotiate a deal with the Bahamas Paradise Cruises for the return of the Grand Celebration, but also for the additional vessel, the Grand Classica, which means that there is a vessel that comes in every day here to Grand Bahama. This month, we will see additional flights coming from Detroit, coming from Chicago, from Nashville, Pittsburgh, Newark, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Dallas. The Ministry of Tourism estimates that that's going to provide more than 16,000 additional passengers, air passengers, to come to Grand Bahama. The government has, along the tourism line as well, has approved the, in principle, with Grand Palm Beach Acquisitions Company, a major $2.8 billion investment for West End, which is the old former GIN project. That has been approved in principle.
And he says there are also many other ongoing projects on this island.
Like Pharmachem, the $180 million Pharmachem project that is proceeding. We have Statoil, who had indicated that they have a $20 million repair project that is proceeding. We have companies, new companies that have started, like Falco, like the tobacco company, that have started, that have hired persons. We have companies that have expanded, like the Omni Financial Company, that have expanded in Grand Bahama and hired new people. We have a well-known recreational facility that is about to announce their return to Grand Bahama, and they also will be hiring some additional people as well.
The Minister for Grand Bahama says that there has been a boost of investor confidence within the past year through the ease of doing business on this island.
There was a recent report by the Grand Bahama Port Authority which indicated that they have seen such an increase in the number of applications for investors between the period of January to now of this year, that it has been more during this period of time than it has been in the last 8 years.
And when it comes to the youth, he says they are not forgotten.
So one of the first things that we did in coming to office was to continue the MSc program, where there are 17 Bahamians who have been chosen to be trained and to work on the MSc cruise ships. We met the softball park in disrepair, and in fact even the track and the other facilities as well. And the government also embarked upon the repair of the softball facility. We also, when it comes to employment, continued the nursing program, where there were approximately 20 nurses who were being trained, and that was also being facilitated out of the Office of the Prime Minister here in Grand Bahama.
Minister Thompson says their promise to make Grand Bahama a technological hub is also coming to fruition.
The year, I believe, ended on a positive note with the introduction of the GIBC Technology Digital Company. This is a significant technology company that has offices all around the world. And I believe what is significant is because they indicated that because of the government's Technology Hub initiative, they decided to come to Grand Bahama and set up in Grand Bahama. They are at present in the interview process where they are interviewing persons to be hired and to be trained.
Thompson says he, along with all of the Grand Bahama MPs, have done much work in this first year. And while they still have much more to do, they have only just begun. Well, they share the same name and have both emerged as Prime Ministers of the Bahamas under the Free National Movement's banner. Tonight, we speak with a man who has worked closely with former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram and now serves under the current leadership of Dr. Hubert Alexander Menace. This government official believes that despite the difference in leadership styles, the FNM's philosophy for this country remains the same. Excellency role in the political landscape of this country. The man who has worked with both leaders of the FNM says, despite the change in leadership, one thing. On May 10, 2017, a new leader was ushered in as Prime Minister. For the first time since 2002, the country saw a new face emerge to lead the country, but this time under the Free National Movement. Political strategist, His Excellency C.A. Smith has played an integral role in the political landscape of this country, from serving as campaign managers to ministerial posts and as an ambassador. He worked closely with the FNM's former leader and Prime Minister Right Honorable Hubert Ingram and helped to secure the FNM's landslide victory under the leadership of Dr. Hubert Menace in 2017. The man who has worked with both leaders of the FNM says, despite the change in leadership, one thing remains the same.
It's the same philosophy. What we have is different leaders, and leaders will bring their style of management and bring their style of leadership to the organization. But the principles, the core values remain the same.
He says when it comes to the two leaders, there is a notable difference.
The way you perform, or you're out. You knew what he expected of you, and you had to give it. And quite frankly, if you didn't give it, you also knew that you had no place in his government. And that's great, because people elect us to perform. And if you fail to perform, you ought to leave.
As for Dr. Minnis, the party's current leader and prime minister, he said he is quite different.
He always says that I am going to be the CEO. I'm going to have ministers do their thing, but they're going to be accountable to me, and I will kind of oversee it all. It's just a different style of management, all aiming to get the best out of the team and to get the best for the Bahamian people.
But one thing he says is for sure, both men will go down in history as impactful and influential leaders within the FNM and the country at large. And as we mentioned earlier, the jury in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial is deliberating at this hour. The group of 12 will determine the fate of the 3 men accused of killing the Johnsons at their Holmes Rock residence in September 2015. The trial came to a close around noon today when presiding Justice Estelle Gray Evans wrapped up her summation to the jury. Now, we have a team in place at the court, and we will bring you the verdict as soon as it is announced. The Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial has been ongoing now for some 8 months. Devon Hall, Paul Belazaire, and Kevin Dames stand accused of the double murder. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Dolly Madison's Ace Housewares and Plant Nursery departments are set to make this Mother's Day her best ever with a 2-day sale this Friday and Saturday. Choose from Dolly's vast selection of modern houseware items and gadgets to make her life easier. Then head on over to the Plant Nursery for roses, indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, and more. This Friday and Saturday only at Dolly Madison's Ace Houseware and Plant Nursery Mother's Day sale.
Come on down now.
The Grand Bahama Homecoming Committee brings you Taris Riley live in concert Saturday, May 19th, Gombe Park International Bazaar. Don't you miss it.
Mother's Day is here. Give her the gift she really wants from Tees Perfume Depot over in the Culmerville Plaza, or call them at 352-9554.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Steppin' Out. Satisfy your style habits with shoes for every occasion. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A Bahamian gospel artist and the Gateway Outreach Ministry praise team out of Bimini will be hosting their second album release concert. Jesus Remains came out in January of this year, and the group recently held a release concert in the capital, and there was great demand for one to be held in Grand Bahama. Jadorde says it is an album of worship that they are proud to perform.
In that album, you have full of testimonies of how good God's been to us. And, you know, just really celebrating who he is. When you have songs like Kingdom Come Medley, that's being played on the radio all the time, you know, these are the songs that really just minister just about how awesome our God is. And we just want to share that with the people of Freeport. You know, we've been to Nassau where it's been well received. And the songs on the album, they're being in heavy rotation. And so we just really wanted to come and just celebrate and be a blessing to the people of Freeport.
Now he says that the audience can expect to be moved Friday night at Jubilee Cathedral.
We can expect a lot of worship because that's what this album is about. It's an album about worship. And just by the title itself, we know that it is about worshiping the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. We can expect also featuring myself along with the Gateway Outreach Ministry praise team. We have Mrs. Carl Thurston from right here at Jubilee Cathedral. We also have Lady Shanlane Grant from Universal Household of Faith and PJ Roberts, one of the DJs at Dove 101s. These are some awesome ministries and we're looking forward to sharing with them.
Well, Jesus Remains album release concert is scheduled for 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. And tonight we continue our profile of mothers, but this report has a different perspective. Our Italia Hall talks to a young mother who was in the Valley of Decision a few years ago, and she says she's happy she decided to accept the role of motherhood.
25-year-old Daphne Cartwright is originally from Sweetings Key, and the story as to how motherhood began for her is a bit different. She got pregnant at the tender age of 16. Daphne says when she found out she was not sure who to turn to, but a cousin advised her to get an abortion. But she says just as she was about to make that decision, another family member shared her story and told her that she does not wish for anyone else to experience the same situation.
The moment she told that to me, it's like she didn't know what was going on. It was almost like God sent her to tell me, don't do it. And I was like, I can't imagine doing that. And I was like, I'm not gonna go through with it. My mom found out and I knew she was crushed, but she never showed it one day. She decided to support me fully. Now my son is 8 years old and I realize like, I give God all the thanks that I didn't go through with that abortion.
She says being pregnant was a life-changing experience for her.
I was scheduled to graduate June of 2009. I wasn't able to walk for my graduation because I was pregnant, and that hurt me so bad because that was the one thing I wanted to do for my mother.
Daphne was still able to graduate from high school, and her education did not stop there. She says statistics showed that she would have a second child before the age of 22, but she was determined to not be added to that number. She became a student at the University of the Bahamas, but was unable to finish due to financial challenges.
I felt as though that was at the end of the road for me, but I told myself, no, Daphne, you cannot stop. You know, you came this far and you will overcome this. I started BIBT, Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology, January 2017. I'm completing this year and I'm graduating July of 2019. 2019 means so much to me because in 2009 I was unable to walk across the stage to receive my high school diploma, but in 2019 I will walk across the stage and receive my associate's degree in tourism management.
She says teenage pregnancy is a serious issue in the country, and she's asking the public not to be so harsh on other young women who experience the same fate.
A lot of times, you know, person just say, oh, she was probably a rude child or something like that, or a fast child, but in reality, that's not the case. I wasn't, you know. My first time having sexual intercourse, here it was, I was pregnant. I didn't expect that, but that's what happened, you know. So you can't never say, okay, she had a fast life. Don't judge someone because you don't know their story. Instead, take the time and encourage them.
And for teenage mothers, she says it's not the end of the world.
Never for a second think so, because you can't come out of it. You understand? You just have to tell yourself that, okay, my life paused. It didn't stop. So after the pregnancy is over, you press play again and you start it all over and you do what you have to do. You get that high school diploma, you get that college degree, you make a career for you and your child.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Great story, and now it is time to ask the doctor.
Welcome. Yvette asked, over the last 4 weeks, 6 members of my family contracted what we believe to be pink eye. The symptoms were severe and lasted anywhere from 7 days to 3 weeks. Everyone who had it experienced pink eye at a much earlier age for about 3 days only, and the symptoms were much milder. Was our recent experience really pink eye, or was it something else? Yvette, thank you for your question. What is commonly called pink eye is what we call conjunctivitis. It is an inflammation or infection of the conjunctiva, which is the clear covering that lines your eyelid and covers the white part of your eyeball. When small blood vessels in the conjunctiva become inflamed, they're more visible. This is what causes the whites of your eyes to appear reddish or pink. Pink eye can be irritating, and treatment can help ease the discomfort. The answer is yes. You and your family's recent experience sounds like pink eye because it can be contagious. So early diagnosis is important because medications such as antibiotic eye drops can help limit the spread. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. A check on sports is up next with Ricardo Lightborn.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Freeport Jewelers in Port Lucaya. Fashion starts here.
All last year, I fell in love with Belinda. But this year, I want to just kick it up a notch.
Did you hear about our new bamboo line?
When he started talking about you can still on TV.
Hold on, Dr. Love. Not that type of bamboo you're talking about. You ain't hear about the nice bamboo sheet. And you can get it in all colors. And if you ain't want it in the sheets, Dr. Love, you can get it in the pillows.
Thank God for island bedding.
Come and visit me at number 5, Queens Highway, Island Bedding.
The Grand Bahama Homecoming Committee and Sands Bear present Old School vs. New School Bear Fest, Friday, May 18th, Premier Lounge Grounds, Queens Highway. Gates open at 6, admission free before 8.
2 mothers, 2 miracles.
I said, Lord, you didn't tell me you was going to take my baby. By the grace of God, he's our miracle.
Phenomenal features an historic premiere by a local songbird, a Bahamian female, a trailblazer in the world of sports, a phenomenal exclusive with a government minister, and local hotel officials on the way forward. Youngsters on what makes their moms so phenomenal. OMG, spring fashion is in the air. It is a phenomenal Mother's Day special this Friday at 8 p.m.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
Everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Tonight, this one goes out to a very special lady in West End, that is Bernice Lewis. And yes, folks, we got to tell you that Stacy, the Garland Beckles hunter, is a year older. And yeah, she's a year worse. Cola, you better keep that bird in the cage, okay? Well, let me tell you, the Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End was the venue for the 9th edition of the Mike Schmidt Winners Circle Charity Fishing Tournament. Well, the anglers had a blast down west. 24 boats fished the Circle 1 fishing tournament. The anglers on board the four-wheel taking their catch out for the weigh-in. The dolphin fish is highly sought. Lots of fishing stories at Old Bahama Bay Resort. Okay, this one did not get away, and what a catch. The lady anglers, Debbie and Lynn, they're on the scoreboard. This wahoo weighed in 19.8 pounds, and yes, it's a keeper. The staff recording the catch over 3 days. The host, Mike Schmidt, posing with the crew of the Fragrant Harbor. Good fishing, says John Moore.
A lot of dolphin. Wahoo, got a white marlin today, and it was pretty rough. All 3 days, it was pretty rough. Victory at sea out there, if you want to call it that.
Fishing at Old Bahama Bay is always exciting. Tuna by Debbie Carter. Also, this one is big. Well, our little anglers here, these guys have a lot to remember, and they're on the Marauders. Former major leaguer and player and the patron of the tournament, that is Mike Smith, congratulated the new anglers, and Paul Miller is proud of his kids.
They're learning, you know, got to bring them out there and get them out on the boat and teach them how to get it done.
Well, they looked like they had a lot of fun, too.
They had a great time, and, you know, I always recommend bringing the kids out because they'll want to come out and be with the adults when we get older.
Okay, this is what's left of the tuna. The shark took the rest. The head weighed in at 37.2 pounds. Eric Hull said it was a close call there, and all he's got is the memory and the head.
We headed off as strangers and headed north and found a bunch of birds, and it was the short line that went off, and it just peeled off line, couldn't believe it. Gained line, got half the spool back when all of a sudden you could just feel the weight and it went the other way. And I was afraid it was going to be a shark, but he still felt like he was coming. When we got him to the boat, the shark showed up with him at the boat and looked at us and smiled and left.
The anglers had a great time fishing in the 19th edition of the Winner's Circle at Old Bahama Bay, and hats off to Mike Schmidt and his team. Well, the manager at Old Bahama Bay, Jackie Carroll, was all smiles as well with the anglers and gave them high marks again for a successful event. Well, let me tell you, folks, the amenities and the service down there in West End was first class.
We look forward to it every year. The guys are wonderful, all the anglers. They like coming back. They love it. The fishing, the hospitality, and we look forward to having them every year. They're very happy. The weather was, it could have been a little bit better, but they still did really well.
Now, Old Bahama Bay is not finished yet, folks. Jackie says they've got a very busy summer and a very exciting fall ahead.
We look really good for the summer. We've got a couple more tournaments. We have the OBB Wahoo tournament in November, this is the second. It's an annual tournament, and this will be the second year, and we're really looking forward to that too. Then we've got quite a few smaller rendezvous and a couple of others. The Sundance tournament, we have that in August as well, and then the Bay Fest tournament. So we're pretty busy.
And also, we can tell you that Franco Miller Jr. is going to be heading folks to Ole Miss. He signed today. We had some technical difficulties, so we couldn't get it out for you, but we'll try and do our best we can tomorrow. That's your sports tonight.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
She wants to be like it's the Grand Bahama Homecoming on Saturday, May 19th. Starring the Hitmaker, the Culture and Lovers Rock King, Taurus Riley.
Taurus Riley.
Doing all his hits. Live on stage, Saturday, May 19th at Gombe Park, International Bazaar, Freeport, Bahamas. It's the Grand Bahama Homecoming. It's Monday weekend. Purchase your early bird special tickets now. General admission $20. VIP $35. All access $60. Purchase tickets at all Fluid Factory locations. Brought to you by Alive.
Oh, Taurus.
Bahamas massive, Freeport to be exact. This is your singer Taurus Riley, and do remember, May 19th, that's where it's at, Taurus Riley. Homecoming vibes, homecoming celebration. I know the Bahamas is just like home. See it? Sing it. We'll be there 19th of May. Sing some nice, should be a nice place. See it? Salute.
Come on, well everybody move. I wish I had someone just to show how much.
A Social Affair invites you this Sunday, May 13th, to a special Mother's Day brunch featuring the Cooling Waters. Phone 602-6292 or 727-6292 for reservations.
Since we met, baby, no need for running around. Looks like you cool me down. You cool me down, girl. And
Okay, we're going to get through this, but I don't want to hear what you got to say after the news. So.
And of course, we have to say congratulations to Franco Miller Jr. and Venus and Franco. Congratulations,
Isn't that great?
guys.
He's going to go to Ole Miss. Yolette McPhee-McEwen is up there at Ole Miss. Moon McPhee and Daisy moving to Mississippi.
And he hired me to manage him, so this is going to be my...
I told you to choose. I coming too.
I'm coming, Franco. I'm coming. That's going to do it for us here in the North on behalf of our entire ZNS News team.
Every kind of like one.
I'm Shoshana Rule Parkers in the Bahamas tonight. Continues.
In the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The Minnis administration marks 1 year in office today. Hear the Prime Minister's personal assessment. A teacher arraigned in court on a sex crime. And and remembering the fallen 38 years after they paid the ultimate sacrifice. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Pausing to remember the ultimate sacrifice. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishel Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, 38 years later, May 10th remains a somber memory for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and many Bahamians. On this day back in 1980, after arresting 2 Cuban fishing vessels near the Ragged Island chain, Her Majesty's Bahamian ship, the Flamingo, was fired upon by Cuban MiG jets in the dead of night, leaving many of the crew members treading water. Well, today the force remembered its fallen Marines and survivors of that incident, and among those observing the occasion at the Coral Harbor base were the Governor General and the Prime Minister, as Jimenita Swain tells us.
A salute to the men who made the ultimate sacrifice and the crew of the HMBS Flamingo. A memorial service held Thursday morning at the Coral Harbor base to mark the 38th anniversary of what many would see as an attack on Bahamian territory by a foreign entity. Cuban MiG jets shot upon and sank the HMBS Flamingo 1 mile from Cape Santo Domingo. The surviving crew and 8 Cuban passengers went to Ragged Island to alert officials and flee attackers. 4 men, Able Seaman Fenric Stirrup, Marine Seaman Austin Smith, Marine Seaman David Tucker, and Marine Seaman Edward Williams, were lost at sea. The memorial service included the Governor General, the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, other cabinet ministers, members of the armed forces, as well as survivors and family members. The Governor General, in her capacity as head of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, said news of the tragedy would be delivered on Mother's Day, 40 days after an act of Parliament created the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
The realization of the awesome responsibilities of self-governance, self-reliance, and of course self-defense became ever so clearer to all Bahamians. Commodore Bethel, senior officers and Marines, in retrospect, I am very proud to observe that the dedicated service and selfless sacrifice of the men and women of the Defense Force continue to stir up a deep sense of national pride and respect for all that it means to be a citizen of a sovereign nation.
While the Bahamas was traumatized by the attack, diplomatic relations continued with Cuba. The moment in history is one the Governor General says should never be forgotten. On board the Flamingo and making up the 14 survivors was former Sub-Lieutenant Anthony Allens.
Brings back memories, but I am indeed pleased that the Defense Force keeps it alive through, so that we remember the 4 young men who lost their lives. As I was telling someone earlier, that it needs to be put in the school curriculum so that the entire Bahamas could know our history and our military history.
At the memorial, officials and family members laid wreaths in remembrance of the fallen. The procession led by the Governor General would next move to the shores where wreaths were cast into the sea, also in remembrance. Now, while this memorial takes place every year, the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force are reminded that they too can be called upon to make the ultimate sacrifice at any time to protect and preserve the heritage of the Bahamas. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
The Water and Sewage Corporation has signed a multi-million-dollar contract to deliver piped water to the residences of hundreds of Long Islanders for the first time. Cleopatra Murphy has details of the historic move.
Executive Chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation and Member of Parliament for Long Island, Adrian Gibson, who spoke at a press conference at the Salt Pond Regatta site, says the project involves the installation of 100,000 feet of pipe in 2 areas.
Lot number 1. That's North Long Island from the northern end of Salt Pond Settlement ending at Boat Harbor Drive, Gray Settlement. This will provide service to approximately 200 service connections. Lot number 2, South Long Island from Turtle Cove in Stevens Settlement to the southern end of Clarence Town Settlement. This will provide service to approximately 100 service connections.
50 persons will be engaged, with 90% of them Bahamians, when work commences in 6 weeks.
On the 12th of June, BHM will be holding an open house in Long Island, and that will be to interview people for jobs here, to look at where they can stay to get accommodations, to find persons whose equipment they can use, and also for any other job opening that may arise as a result.
Managing Director of BHM Company Limited, Abby Sadai, says work will take 12 months and says the company has years of experience.
We were formed in 1984. We're a Cat 1 water and sewer contractor, which means we're pre-qualified to do a project of any size. We've been installing water and sewer schemes since 1984.
There is also a phase 3 of the project that will involve a third contract to other areas of the island. Gibson says the water service is much needed and long awaited by Long Islanders.
The 3 projects I announced earlier, which total in excess of $10 million, that is those actual that's happening today and proposed, represent a significant step in the achievement of this goal and will bring relief after years of severe hardship to a combined 740 plus homes and businesses.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, on the sidelines of the HMBS Flamingo ceremony today at the Coral Harbor Base, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis reflected on the one-year anniversary of his administration. He says while much has been done in a year, he views this week's announcement as a major accomplishment.
I'm especially elated to establish the delivery unit where we can actually trace and keep an eye on everything that we promised to ensure that they're delivered. And in real time, the press can visit the delivery unit, look on the various different monitors and see exactly where we are. And we will have the necessary website so that you can see where we are, our progression, etc.
Well, the Prime Minister also had this response to critics of his administration.
Any individual, be they government or any leader, manager, or whatever, if they have 100% with them, then they are weak. They are bending to please everyone. That is not us. We are working towards a nation. And what we do for one makes another unhappy. Those are the realities.
Well, 1 year ago on this night, the Free National Movement won a resounding victory at the polls over the then governing Progressive Liberal Party. They won 35 of 39 seats, marking the most seats ever won and the largest margin of victory. Tonight, our Altavi's Munnings is live at the party headquarters, where a victory rally is about to get underway. Altavi's, good night to you.
Good evening, Keishla, and good evening, Bahamas. I hope you can hear me as I'm reporting live from the Free National Movement's Kamaki Street headquarters, where a mini rally is taking place at the moment to commemorate the Free National Movement's one-year election victory. It was 1 year ago on May 10th, 2017, when the then opposition Free National Movement won the 2017 election, securing the majority of the parliamentary seats. Joining me now live is one of the election candidates of the Free National Movement, who is now the Member of Parliament for North Abaco, as well as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Darren Henfield. And Minister Henfield, we've known each other for a long time, and I know that you have been serving in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. You've been an attorney. You've also been a man of the cloth. Tell me, how has the transition been from Royal Bahamas Defense Force officer to now first-time politician and cabinet minister?
I want to begin by giving God thanks for 1 year in office. It's through him that we live, breathe, and move and have our being. We also want to recognize the fallen of Flamingo, which we mark the anniversary of today and memorialize to the base in Coral Harbor. But the transition for me, I think, had been relatively smooth, because the Defense Force is a disciplined place and you bring your discipline with you into whatever agenda or whatever field you enter into. And I think I was able to bring that discipline of determination, hard work, and discipline into politics. And I think we've had pretty much a relatively successful occasion at it.
Minister Henfield, what do you remember about May 10th, 2017, that night? What do you remember the most?
Looking at the faces of the people, looking at the faces of the Bahamian people who supported the Free National Movement, the people in North Abaco, who put their trust and confidence in me and Dr. Minnis to lead this nation. And that's a memory that each of us will carry with us, I think, until the end of time, because we realize the weight of governing, the weight of the people. The expectations are so high, and there's only so much you can get done in a day. But, you know, the good thing is that we've been elected for 5 years. I think we've had a good first year. I really want to congratulate Dr. Minnis and the FNM. I think the land program that we rolled out yesterday in the House of Assembly will revolutionize the way that housing is done in the Bahamas, because Bahamians, common Bahamians, will be able to go and purchase land at the cost of putting in the infrastructure and build their homes. Owning a home is a very important thing in any country for young families and for single mothers to be able to do that, not only in New Providence, but in the Family Islands. North Abaco is going to be particularly blessed by this program, because we have, I think, about 4 or 5 of these subdivisions that we've already identified that will be addressed in North Abaco.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That was the Member of Parliament for North Abaco and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Darren Henfield. As you can see behind me, the mini rally is underway here at the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters. There will be several speakers, several members of Parliament and senators who will be addressing this rally tonight. And the rally will end with an address by Free National Movement leader, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis. Reporting live from the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News. Back to you, Kishla.
Well, thanks a lot, Altaviz. Well, meantime, the Progressive Liberal Party officials and supporters rallied at their party headquarters on Farrington Road last night, where speakers evaluated the Free National Movement's first year. PLP leader Philip Brave Davis says the government's performance is unsatisfactory and gave the FNM a U grade.
There are some things minister-led government deserves high marks for. For lying, I gave the FNM an A+ grade. For victimizing Bahamians, they got an A+ grade. For being unethical in their behavior in government, the FNM will get an A+ grade. For the government's failure to deliver one real investment in the country, they get an A+. For their cloud of secrecy and silence on national matters, I gave them an A+.
Well, still ahead tonight, a teacher is charged in the magistrate's court with indecent assault. And the body of a former senator lies in repose in the foyer of the Senate building, remembering her tonight. Stay tuned. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Let It, designed for extra miles.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank. Everything we do it for you.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box. Fully loaded and made fresh for only you. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Home is more than where the heart is. Home is where the children feel safe, a place where family comes first. Come home today with a B.O.B. residential mortgage. Enjoy attractive rates with up to 25 years to repay, or use the equity in your home to fund home improvements or other worthwhile needs. Isn't it time you came home to a place of your own? Talk with us today. B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
Jacob, guess what? I know how to get out of trouble with my mom. Nuh-uh. Uh-huh. One time, my mommy got mad at my daddy, and next day, he gave her this aqua bag. And she got so happy. And another time, he gave her the same aqua bag, and she got so happy again. Yeah, so yesterday, when I spilled my drink on her new couch, I ran and got one of those same aqua bags. And it actually worked. What? Yeah, she wasn't mad at me anymore. It's like magic. Whoa.
Come and discover the magic for yourself. No matter what the occasion, it can work for you too. Visit any John Bull location and select something that'll make every occasion brighter. Make every moment John Bull.
Jacob, come here.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. Two police officers, Carl Smith and Akil Smith, accused of manslaughter in the death of Aaron Roll, walked out of court free men today after Senior Justice Vera Watkins directed jurors to return a unanimous not guilty verdict, this following legal discussions in the absence of the jury. Prosecutors closed their case in the trial 2 days ago. Roll died while in custody at the Kwaku Street Police Station back in February of 2013. Evidence revealed that he died from a ruptured intestine and internal bleeding caused by blunt force trauma. Senior Justice Vera Watkins presided over the case. Kendra Kelly led the prosecution, and Wayne Monroe QC defended the accused. Also from the courts, a 65-year-old teacher faces 3 counts of indecent assault. Garfield Hepburn pleaded not guilty to the incidents of assault which occurred between September 1st, 2017, according to prosecutors, and March 5th of this year. He was granted $7,500 bail and 2 sureties. He's due back in court on July 2nd. A teen and 2 men charged with murder in the magistrate's court today as well. 19-year-old Kemp Road resident Jonathan Brown, 24-year-old Cleveland Musgrove, also of Kemp Road, and 33-year-old Marco Neely of Fox Hill were charged with the May 4th homicide of Prince Johnson. Police say just after 11 p.m. last Friday, a group of men got into an altercation on Potterski Dock before Johnson was stabbed to death. The men were not required to enter a plea. They were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and are due back in court on July 19th for service of voluntary bill of indictment papers. Also tonight, a man shot 2 weeks ago in Pinewood Gardens died on Wednesday. The deceased was standing outside a residence on Jumbe Street off Windsor Place with a group of men when they were approached by an armed gunman who opened fire on them, hitting 4 of the men. No official identification so far on the accused. A pedestrian struck by a Jeep 2 nights ago has died in hospital of his injuries. The man was reportedly walking on Madera Street around 9 o'clock Tuesday night when the accident happened. He was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Now an investigation is underway. The Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Peter Turnquest, has used his time during contribution to the 2018 Affordable Homes Bill in the House of Assembly to respond to the opposition on the Affordable Homes Bill. Minister Turnquest pointed out that qualified homeowners will be exempted from customs duty and value-added tax. He also listed some of the things that the Act restricts.
There are significant penalties, Mr. Speaker, attached to this bill to dissuade any person who may wish or have the thought that they can somehow cheat the government and cheat their fellow residents by taking advantage of this concession. And so that no one can say that they don't know, Mr. Speaker, should an offense occur, this act shall be punishable on conviction thereof to a fine of twice the value of the concession. So, and or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 6 months. Why should this exemption not apply to other private developers? The fact of the matter is that we are mindful that we also have to protect the Treasury. We cannot afford wholesale elimination of duties and excise tax across the board. Otherwise, we will have chaos.
The Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island, Progressive Liberal Party Deputy Leader Chester Cooper, told the House of Assembly that he supports reasonable efforts to increase Bahamian home ownership. During his contribution Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Cooper implored the government to consider the uniqueness of the family islands when it comes to home ownership.
In Exuma, for example, even after houses are built by very industrious Bahamians, Exumians, utility companies like BPL in particular often charge exorbitant amounts, sometimes thousands and thousands of dollars, to connect a homeowner in case where there's a home that's a far set back from the main road, as is often the case in many family islands. This is something where we need a government policy to address if we are truly going to comprehensively address affordable home ownership in the Bahamas.
The body of Clara Rose Hall King is lying in repose in the foyer of the Senate building. King was appointed a senator by former Prime Minister, the late Sir Lyndon Pinling. Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling, led officials viewing the body today. Others included the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honourable Hubert Minnis, and other government officials, as well as Progressive Liberal Party parliamentarians. King was the mother of 8, including her eldest child, Sir Burton Hall, the former Chief Justice of the Bahamas. She died last week after a brief illness. Mrs. King's funeral is set for Friday at 11 a.m. at St. Agnes Anglican Church. Clara Rose Hall was 86 years old. Well, Sunday is Mother's Day, and the Ramming Brothers are ready for their annual Mother's Day concert, and they hope you are too. This year, the Ramming Brothers will honor 30 outstanding Bahamian mothers. DeAndre Williamson caught up with the group.
Singing a cappella at its best, the Ramming Brothers are tuning up for their 8th annual Mother's Day Gospel Concert.
You really don't want to miss this one, because we try to step it up no matter how good it is. We try to make it better than the last one.
Every year the concert is held in memory of a very special person, Rosalie Ramming.
Missing you on this day. And so really this concert this year is dedicated to the memory of our mother.
Like previous concerts, faithful and dedicated mothers will be recognized. On Sunday, 30 mothers will be honored because the Ramming Brothers believe a mother's heart is next to the heart of God.
I am very grateful to the Almighty and to the Ramming Brothers for having me as one of their honorees out of 30 mothers.
We work so hard as mothers, and we feel as though it just goes unnoticed. It is not appreciated, but I am elated. I am truly elated. This honor is very special to me, and I'm excited and I'm proud to be honored for the first time.
While the Ramming Brothers will be the main group performing, other gospel artists and groups such as Shabak, DJ Godson, and the Stubbs Brothers will serenade the crowd too. The Ramming Brothers will feature gospel favorites from their new CD, I Want to Be Ready.
By and by, and we have old camp meeting days. You know, it tells about the time when people used to get together way back then.
If you want to hear more songs like this,
So lovely ladies, we honor you tonight.
the Ramming Brothers Mother's Day concert will be held here at Evangelistic Temple on Sunday at 7 p.m. The first 100 mothers will receive a rose, and there will be lots of gifts and surprises. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business
News, I'm DeAndre Williamson. World Trade Organization private sector consultations are set to begin next week in Grand Bahama's business community. The government will carry out the consultations to obtain private sector input as part of its efforts to join the WTO. The consultations are intended to inform the government's negotiating position in respect of various economic sectors. Consultations begin on Wednesday, May 16th and ends on Friday, May 18th. They will take place at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce. In other business news, Commonwealth Brewery traded 100 shares to close at $10.05 per share. Commonwealth Bank traded 1,000 shares to close at $3.85 per share. Kalina Holdings traded 646 to close at $6.10 per share. Doctors Hospital traded 1,000 shares to close up 10 cents to a new price of $1.60 per share. And in international business news, U.S. stocks rose as investors digested benign inflation data and jobless claims that pointed to continued improvement in the labor market. The S&P 500 index rose 0.73% to $2,717.58. Oil prices retreated Thursday from the highest levels in 3.5 years as a sign of further rise in U.S. crude stockpiles helped calm worries about the risk to the flow of crude in the Middle East. West Texas Intermediate fell 0.04% to $71.11 per barrel. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
It is now much easier for Indian nationals to travel to the islands of the Bahamas. The destination has been in high demand for years, and now hundreds of Indian travelers will be able to scratch the Bahamas off their bucket lists.
Any Indian national that has a British visa, a Schengen visa, Canadian, or United States visa, that they would be allowed to just get a visa on arrival into the Bahamas. Huge strides. That's the beginning. We have to take it a step further. We cannot assume for a moment that every visitor from India will come just to Nassau. So we're now having the conversations, what about those who may travel directly, say from Atlanta to North Eleuthera or into Marsh Harbour? But we've started the process, and IATA and all embassies, all our airlines have been notified.
Officials can now aggressively market the destination to that very lucrative market, especially in the area of romance.
They make huge investments into these weddings. A wedding isn't one day. A wedding can last a week. And to spend $1 million on a wedding in India is that's not exceptional. One of their biggest trend now is destination weddings. The Bahamas has always appealed to the Indians for destination weddings. But the challenges for them to get a visa, we have no facilities, no consular, no embassy in India. It required them either traveling to the United Kingdom or traveling to the United States to get a visa. And it wasn't a 24-hour process. And so what happens? We lost a lot of business.
But that's expected to change now thanks to the new agreement, and the ministry is looking forward to welcoming thousands of Indian visitors in the near future. Read more on tourismtoday.com. I'm Nakia Christie, and this is Tourism Today.
A Divine Design on Bay Street celebrates every single woman during the entire month of May with a store-wide sale of up to 65%. Save on gorgeous interchangeable jewelry, steel and gold-plated necklaces, colorful beads, elegant pearls, gemstone and Venetian glass clasps in all colors, shapes and sizes. A Divine Design wishes you the happiest, most colorful Mother's Day. So visit our store on Bay Street and save up to 65%. Phone 323-2900.
The Amber Company has been around many, many years. We are one of the oldest computer company here on the island. We have a wide range of other products, such as CCTV cameras, Promethean educational boards, ATMs and safes, and also we carry a wide variety of software products.
So this Canon wireless color printer is valued at $99, but all of our live customers that come in and show us the app and they're part of the loyalty program will get a 20% discount. The Armory Company is an innovative leader in business and technology solutions, so we thought the partnership would be natural with Alive since they follow a similar mission.
Available at Jimmy's Liquor Store or your favorite restaurant or liquor stores throughout the Bahamas.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
As the road to the crown continues for Miss Bahamas World Pageant contestants, we're learning more about the pageant's Beauty with a Purpose project. During a courtesy call in the Governor General yesterday, we talked to the pageant's Vice President of Corporate Sponsorship, Jerome Sawyer.
My Beauty with a Purpose project is called In the Green. It's basically educating the Bahamian people and bringing more awareness to the environment and everything green and in the water and in the sky. Protecting this country and making sure it's the way God made it. The name of my platform is BU, TIFL, Beyond Measures. And the reason why I chose that is to encourage the youth that you are beautiful no matter what others may have to say about you, as well as be you. Everyone is unique, everyone is different. So I'm just wanting to encourage the youth that it's okay to be different, because being different basically rules. So it's okay to be different, it's okay to be unique, and to always remember that you're beautiful.
Well, Miss Long Island Angel Cartwright told a story about why she chose to partner with the Reach organization for children with autism.
There was a story a parent told me that, she was in the grocery store and her child was having an anxiety attack, and someone came up to her and, they were like, why would you bring your rude child? Why don't you spank them? Why would you allow your child to act like this publicly? And she was completely embarrassed because her child was autistic and he wasn't being rude. He was having an anxiety attack. So the simple things in life that you and I would take for granted, for instance, an autistic parent goes through so much, and if you don't ever want to take your child to the grocery store, would you want to take them, to dinner?
Well, Wendy Knight receiving the nomination along with other soca artists in the Caribbean for Female Soca Music Video of the Year. SAO International Soca Awards is the body that's recognizing Wendy and the likes of Patrice Roberts and other female artists. But who will win? You all will have a chance to decide. In this week's edition of Catching the Feeling, Jiminita Swain chats with Wendy about the nomination and getting the news.
Ain't Missin' It is the video that snagged a major nomination for Wendy Knight. She released the video last year and it was well received locally and caught the eye of her Caribbean counterparts. She could not be happier about the nomination.
And I'm absolutely excited, definitely surprised, had no idea that I was even up for submission and to even be nominated, and it kind of fell right into my lap. I was at a performance and a gentleman came up to me and said, "Hey, Wendy, someone's been looking for you, someone in my WhatsApp." And the person, literally, I'm not lying, the person who was looking for me called. And the gentleman put the phone in my hand and I was like, "Why are you giving me your phone with some random person calling?" I was like, "Hello?" And they was like, "Wendy, we've been trying to reach you for the past few days. Wanted to let you know that you've been nominated."
Wendy, who is still all smiles when she visited our studio, says she understands that a number of entrants were submitted.
Now, this was a category, the gentleman told me that more than 80 submissions were made. So that's a big deal. It wasn't just an aha moment, but it was really a confirmation that my work is being recognized. The work that my team is putting in is being recognized beyond the borders of the Bahamas. So it really feels good. It always feels good when you're recognized. And Ain't Missin' It actually won the Elevation Awards Music Video of the Year. So it had me thinking, I was like, this music video must be really cool. Like, people really like it.
Wendy is excited and plans to attend the award show.
Well, the award show is in July. It's going to be in St. Lucia, so I'm hoping to go there. I have no expectations of winning, of course, but if I do, that would be amazing as well. But I'm definitely going to go and try to make the award show, do a lot of networking, and that's in July. So we need y'all to vote.
Voting is open for the 15th International Soca Awards until July 6th. You can cast your vote at www.socaawards.com and select the tab Vote Here. Scroll down to Category 10 if you want to vote for Wendy. For this week's edition of Catching the Feeling, I'm Jimenita Swain.
Well, stay tuned. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. We'll be back right after this.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan, and the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
There's only one place to find it all, and it's right here at the Builders Mall, where our friendly staff will provide you with everything your project needs.
From electrical supplies to lighting design.
An array of bathroom and plumbing fixtures.
Tools, lumber, shingles, and roofing materials.
Everything for the contractor.
Or the do-it-yourselfer. For the perfect finishing touch, it's the Paint Center.
For a rainbow worth of colors, try Valspar Premium Paint.
Along with Minmax stains to help you finish the job.
Come, stop by next door at Tile King.
And browse an exquisite selection of tiles from around the world.
Plus, granite countertops and medallions.
Setting materials on a full line of Ruby tools for the wall, floor, patio, or pool.
Our standard is superior customer service. And we are guaranteed to provide you with everything you need and more.
So don't waste time running from place to place. Find it all at Builders Mall.
It's the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza. Just buy these products and enter to win great gift cards or cash for your mom. There'll be 2 winners every week in the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza. Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day.
I've had an amazing relationship with BTC as a small business. BTC gave me the opportunity to produce my first commercial in the Bahamas. BTC giving me my first opportunity to produce a commercial in the Bahamas, it led to so many other commercials, most notably Bahamian, Grammy Award winning group. Most recently, a commercial for Domino's, which is really making a great buzz around even a PSA for the Bahamas National Trust, the Congon video. And all of these things, all stem from doing work with BTC. It's amazing when big corporations like BTC give small businesses like me opportunities, because it gives us an opportunity to show that what we can do. And it really gives us the time to fly and showcase to the entire Bahamas that, we could do it. We could take on large projects. As a small business, my relationship with BTC has been amazing. And it was during the Olympics, the 2012 London Olympics, when our amazing Golden Knights, when they did their thing. So I had an opportunity to create a commercial sort of around them winning, the Olympics, and also featuring Ariana Vanderpool, which she did. So that opportunity was amazing, because from that opportunity it led to so many other opportunities in the Bahamas with commercials, music videos, and everything.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day. Every day is a new day.
Whether you call her mom, mummy, or mama, nothing compares to a mother's love. And at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, we salute mothers with great specials like Bluebird Juices 46-ounce can, $3.29. Chicken leg quarters 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Value Time foam plates, 30 count, 2 for $3. Pine Sol cleaners, 28-ounce size, $2.99. Green peppers, $1.59 per pound. Pepperidge Farm cakes, 19-ounce size, $4.99. Thanks, Mom, from Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Well, a rather nice day here in the capital. To find out what conditions were like elsewhere in the Bahamas, we check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hi, Basil.
Hi, Keisha. The details on our weather coming up later in the newscast, but right now we'll take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key and Abaco, also Marsh Harbor, Abaco reporting 81 degrees. And here in the capital, 79 degrees. Harbor Island, Eleuthera, 78, 79 in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Stanley Key in Exumachine, and Camp Space on Andros at 80, 79 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. San Salvador, Rum Key, Otterstown, Cat Island at 78, 79 in Georgetown, Exuma, 80 degrees in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, and Ackless. Matthewtown, Inagua, 81 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the northwestern Bahamas. The winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your wave heights 2 to 4 feet, with the low tide taking place at 10:05 tonight. For the central parts of our country, winds southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet in the southeast Bahamas. The flow will be southeast, but winds up a bit, 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights moderate at 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Hence, a caution flag is in place for the southeast Bahamas. Tomorrow, in the northwestern islands, the winds continuing out of the southeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Caution flags are up. And then we go into the northwest Bahamas on Friday. Winds rotating clockwise just a bit northeast to east at 10 to 15, with the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 10:29 in the morning. High tide will take place at 4:42 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas on Friday, southeast winds once again at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights unchanged at 2 to 4 feet. And as we go into the southeast Bahamas, we have that moderate flow around 12 to 18 knots out of the southeast. Wave heights remaining at 3 to 6 feet. And then on Saturday, southeast winds once again for the northern islands, and wave heights 3 to 5 feet. Low tide 11:13 in the morning, high tide at 5:28 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, southeast winds increasing. Caution flags are up for both the central and southeastern islands at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights increasing 4 to 7 feet. And that means caution flags are up in the central and southeastern islands on Saturday. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Heart disease has been a concern for Bahamians for many years, and heart disease affects more and more men and women every day. You can greatly reduce your risk of developing heart disease, or if you have been diagnosed with heart disease, you can manage your condition and reduce your risk of heart attack by being wise about what you eat. Fried foods, foods rich in calories, and sugary drinks like sodas are not healthy for your heart. If you are at risk of heart disease, you should eat a diet rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and fiber. Make sure at least half your plate is made up of healthy vegetables and/or fruit at every meal. Remember, eat smart for your heart. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Public
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
Reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball.
Create a fun and interactive United FC.
Go a little bit further for our animal friends.
Feed thousands of Bahamians every year.
Preserve our natural habitat.
And celebrate Bahamian culture and John Canoe on Pageant.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening. It's that time for Sports on the Thursday. Your final look. I'm Charles Fisher. Many are still wondering, when will construction resume on the National Baseball Stadium at the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center? Well, we had a chance to put that question to the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard.
The government approved additional funding for the baseball stadium since we've been in office in order to clear up a number of back bills that had hindered the project from moving forward. I've asked the Prime Minister, despite the approval to complete the baseball stadium in the present location, to give me an opportunity to put together a business plan and a strategic plan for the development of the baseball stadium. That includes entertaining the idea that we might have to reduce the size of the baseball stadium and construct another stadium in the original location that we had identified. So the present location is one option. The second option is to go ahead and to construct the stadium in the original location. And so I intend to report to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet of the Bahamas during the course of this month on the business plan which we have developed, as well as the strategic plan for the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center, which includes the baseball stadium. So we are pleased with the progress that is now being made to finally move this process forward.
The athletes have been working out for months now as the 45th Bahamas Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation National and Novice Championships are set for this coming Saturday at the Malaya Resort. Federation Public Relations Director Stephen Robinson.
We have quite a bit of athletes, some 30 to 40 athletes competing this weekend, and we're expecting to have a very exciting show. Most of the divisions will be contested, from female physique, bikini, female wellness, as well as men's physique, bodybuilding, and also the master's class. This year, we invited quite a bit of charities to our pre-judging as a form of giving back to the community, and also to entice those young folks to get involved, not just in bodybuilding, but get involved in the health and the fitness.
Judging will be a key issue, and that will fall upon Chief Judge Charles Seeley and crew.
The athletes spend a lot of hours preparing their bodies, a lot of monies and times expense in order to create their craft. And it is a duty of the judges on the night in question to be able to look at the quality of muscular development that is on the stage, and that we so choose the best body on stage. We have an array of judges that span from national certification to international certification. And while there is a level of subjectivity in the judging, these persons have been trained, they're very skilled, and they're looking at the athlete probably in a different way that the audience is looking at them. And we judge the athlete from the moment they get on the stage, and we look at the full athlete. And so these persons continue to hone their craft as judges. They attend both national and international events in order to ensure that what we present as judges is the best panel of individuals who can select a winner on that evening.
First round of the New Providence Women's Basketball Association playoffs off and running at the Donald Davis Gym. Courtside for the action, Amajal Knowles.
Well, after being put off for several days after some communication issues with the venue, the New Providence Women's Basketball playoffs got underway at the Donald Davis Gym. In the first game, the Foxy's Angels took on the Boomer G Operators. The first half saw the Operators build a sizable lead thanks to some tough physical play and strong interior defense. However, after being down as many as 15, the Angels managed to take the lead down to single digits thanks to some hot outside shooting in the second half. But ultimately, the Operators' paint dominance proved to be too much, winning the game 62-56, thanks in large part to the play of Brittany Harrison, who finished with 12 points and 23 rebounds. Coach Tony Colmer on the win.
Well, what I did after we built a lead, I took my veterans out and I put my next year team for when the veterans retire to get a foot wet in the championship game. And those young girls, they made a run back, so I had to go back to the well and, put it away.
Head coach of the losing team, Anthony Swaby, on what went wrong for his team.
Remember, this is still a young junior high, senior team playing the champions and the senior veteran team. So they're unfortunately down the stretch in the third quarter. We made some mistakes and we had to fight back too hard in the fourth quarter. But, that's the promising the things to come. And as long as they stay together with one or two improvements, that can always be a team to reckon with. And for a young team, they gave the championship team a headache.
In the second game, the Lady Connectors took on the Lady Cheetahs. In the first half, the Lady Connectors capitalized on some sloppy play from the Cheetahs to get out to a sizable first-half lead. However, the Cheetahs tried to make things interesting, but the Connectors managed to close out down the stretch to secure the win 67-57, winning player Ijana Roll.
Well, like I said the last time I was on TV, that we just needed our chemistry. We had the pieces. You can see that we put it together.
Despite the loss, Cheetahs coach Victor Johnson expects his team to make the necessary adjustments.
It's a game we should have won, but we came out flat. We had a lot of, we have some key players missing tonight, and the girls that came off the bench didn't give me their 100% tonight. But we have another game on Thursday. We'll bounce back.
The Foxy's Angels and the Johnston's Lady Cheetahs to make the necessary adjustments to tie the series up at 1 game apiece. Both series will resume on Thursday. Presenting at Soul Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
And the Bahamas Football Association getting set to send an under-15 girls team to the Caribbean Football Union qualifiers in August. Kevin Davies has been taking the girls through their workouts.
The team has been together for a couple of months now, been going once a week. And actually, as of this week, we're now going to start ramping it up to three days a week. But the girls have really improved over the past couple of months working with them. This has been probably one of the most talented under-15 girls teams that I've had. There are quite a number of players that can potentially make this team, and I think the selection process will be very difficult.
This team should be a force to reckon with.
Right now, my expectations are pretty high based on the talent that I have. Like I said, this is some of the best talent that I've had in my coaching career at this young age, which is a testament to what the clubs are now doing, improving, working with the younger kids now, and getting them prepared. So when they come to national training, we don't have to work so much on basics.
Right now, there are about 30 girls trying out for the 18-member squad and will encompass players from not only Nassau.
We also need to go over to Freeport and see what we have over last year. I had 8 girls from Freeport on the team, so we still need to go over to Freeport and see what is available over there.
And that's going to be it for your Fun Look at Sports. I'm Charles Fisher. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
No matter what your goals are in life,
you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
In today's world, things are constantly changing. So the one thing you can depend on to stay the same is quality, savings, and value. At Solomon's, you'll get real savings with unbeatable prices on everything your family needs. Solomon's, real quality, real savings, real value.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Deja Vu, Beauty and Barber Supply. We have makeup, Zuri, Maybelline, Black Opal, natural hair products like Cantu, Shea Moisturizers, and Eco Gel. We have Yucky and 24-inch Remy Body Wave, Hetty Stocking, 1609 and 1717. Get 6 for $20. We stock a variety of barber supplies, wall blades, guards, and clippers. For beauticians, hair glue, Pump It Up, Oil Sheen, 4-pound relaxer hair treatments, and shampoo by the gallon. We also sell by the case. Deja Vu. We accept credit cards. Number 1 Andrews Avenue, Market Street. Number 65 Carmichael Road, opposite Super Value Warehouse.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian BMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say, with a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or a 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Minister D'Aguilar, now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to go to the Family Islands of the Bahamas to bring tourism back to our family of islands.
And there's no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Let's go. Be fresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that one stationary trough across the central Bahamas has begun to move towards the north, so it will be spreading some shower activity over the northwest Bahamas right through Friday. So there will be pockets of showers, even an isolated thunderstorm here and there over the next day and a half. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy with a spotty shower or two very possible. Low temperature getting down to 76 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be variable cloudiness with a couple of showers and thunderstorms as that trough continues to track towards the north. High temperature 86 degrees, extended forecast. Temperatures not too bad, keeping them in the mid-80s for you right through the 7-day cycle, and those occasional showers as that trough continues to head northward. And it seems as though it wouldn't be until about early next week before we get some relief from these summer-type showers that we've been experiencing for the past several days.
You're missing sunny days lately, Basil.
Yes, they have disappeared for a little while. This system has been a little stubborn and lurking around, but hopefully we'll get it out of the way within the next 4 days.
All right, thanks, Baz. That does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.